the stakes down. Guns out cause the Jake's around. The stakes is high like daylight's around. Throwing deadly donuts to beat them all down. Oh, I'm reading Animal Farm. Napoleon, these pigs do harm. Big brother's here, sound the alarm. The mayor's a cop in a suit with charm. Scratch a man, you'll find a fascist. I spit gasoline and play with matches. All my heroes bash the thatch. The truth don't care if he smashed the plastic. What happened to bars, what happened to passion? I eat the beat like a door dashed it. Bumping trap, reading the trap. It says a double entendre, did you catch it? That's a murder reference. I light them up like Thomas Edison. Bars are jettison, the stars are medicine. Pac-Man the sky, eat the fire and let it in. Chasing my ghosts and beheading them. These phantoms, beasts and menaces. Attacking empire like the Berrigans. The devil's passport is American. Stress so much, ran out of adrenaline. Drowning in tears like I'm treading in venison. Feeling froggy but the knife's coming. Dissect me like a specimen. The knife kissed me, I became a prince. I wrote my death out of the narrative. Once upon a time is how we preface it. But when the fantasy ends, we're just left with shit. A happy ending they edit in. Back to reality, the credits spin. And the truth hurts, so we try to numb it out with stimulants and sedatives. I think a gear broke in my coping mechanism. Third eye stigmatism. I traded WD-40 for 40s. I got beer goggles wrecking my vision. Trying to compose, we're breaking down. That's the art of decomposition. The beauty of rock, fermented foods, the balance of nutrition. The venom of life, the poison that heals. The antidote will be revealed. My pen is a knife, I write the feel. I wrote it in blood, I hope it congeal. The men of my life, they gave me ideals. To dominate was the appeal. We know it's not right, the cycle's a wheel. I'm trying to break it, the brakes just squeal. Head on crashing my family tree. I see some branches impaling me. I rip them out and then I see there were some relatives failing me. Swallowed by the ground, I see the roots. I see the pain that made twisted fruits. The water, those seeds are those twisting you. So break the cycle is all I can do. Scratching my wounds and they're red again. Snakes die if they don't shed their skin. You gotta let go to grow again, cause holding on got us in this mess we're in. Everything becomes a threat when you lose direction. Feeling boxed and fenced in. I torture myself, regret sets in. Another cigarette to the flesh again. In the guillotine, my neck is in. I'm mistaken to play for my best friend. Self-sabotage clandestine. It's me v me, I'm playing chess again. The trauma don't die, you can't suppress it. It's part of you enmeshed in. Denial is my best defense, but if you ignore it, it keeps expressing. Depression's precipice, I'm pressed against. I open the wounds, I'm addressing them. Joy, I'm expressing it. I take my power back, I'm repossessing it. Back to the scene of the crash. My family tree, I'm inspecting it. The bark is healing, I'm seeing new branches. I guess that's what a blessing is.
The human body must also be tuned to them in order to travel through the star.
Chakras. Emotional when the sun rise. My demons dead, the blood dries. I keep hitting them in the head with bars and watch the lumps rise. Hell is having a hard time. I heard they're doing blood drives. The graveyard's full of tough guys. Give them more tissue in cup size. Existential thoughts on a North Denver bus ride. They say you're calm and smart, but it took pain to become wise. It took seeing my friend die and getting beat by one time. I'm running from my past, zoning out is what it looks like. If my life was a film, rated R is what the movie is. If words are weapons and my mouth is what the Uzi is. Metal detector going off from knives in my back like Julius. Rappers say they're better, but they don't seem to be proving it. They say they could top me, but I don't know what a roof is. I'll battle them at the cell level, go in and explode their nucleus. Body of mitochondria, you'll only be spitting mucus spit. Then I'll go to war with the universe and stars like Lucas did. The hours are terrifying, come to the lab and see what spooky is. Bars, I keep blooming them, the songs are fruits with truth in them. Everyone has dreams, but most they feel they don't deserve them. And think they can't achieve them, so they find bridges and burn them. Is your heart a traitor? Why is it waving a white flag? Don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. There, that's a life hack. They say I'm ahead of my time, but maybe there's a time lag. Or maybe I have time dilation from taking those 5 drags. Next time you steal my rhymes and style, just remember to cite that. In Chicago, APA or MLA, cause we bite back. Psalm 23:4, don't make your preacher recite that. Over one-way ticket to the afterlife just might be your flight path. And if reincarnation is real, I'm sure you'll be right back. Cause you keep ditching, taking L's, failing every life class. I'm failing too, instead of forgiveness, I keep using spike bats. God said I'm going to hell with a polite laugh. I put a pen in my flight bag. I'm away, I'm writing postscripts, sipping eat from a wine glass. Portals open at midnight, that's the promise that night has. Demons on the runway waiting just to climb on my back. I spit a verse to purge them all, the devil just saw a bright flash.
Paulo's path.
I try to play the ugliest colors.
Paulo's path.
Pink against dark green. Purple against orange. Things that hurt. You look at them and go, oh. Oh.
Paulo's path. Paulo's path.
Staring at a moonless sky, it took the night off. It signified a new cycle, dead thoughts he sliced off. Billions of years shine in unison, wisdom luminous. What's a nebula but the universe is uterus? Star forming cumulus, protostars numerous. Main sequence usefulness, life maker lucrative. Just so we can have thoughts, are we nature's fugitive? There's bolted off parts in my mind, I'm trying to loosen them. I'm digging through the trauma, trying to find where the human is. Help me find truthfulness to see where illusion is. He saw that his friends were fake, it's sad what we condone. Every time he asked for bread, they only gave him stones. Take your ills and spill, learn, don't ever hide them away. Don't ever use them to spill lies, cause lies just betray. Don't get lost in failure if you didn't succeed today. Your heart's a different type of compass, let it lead the way. It took millions of years just to make a grain of sand. So how can you say that you're failing at your plans? Before a dream comes true, you always get tested. So when you feel hopeless, keep going, that's the lesson. It took millions of years just to make a grain of sand. So how can you say that you're failing at your plans? Before a dream comes true, you always get tested. So when you feel hopeless, keep going, that's the lesson. Hearts don't like to suffer, but it seems to make them stronger. I was a victim of my story, I didn't know I was the author. Struggle we applied until it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Demons got me red-dotted like pimple pop in puberty. Shots and screams, cacophony, visions in my coffin don't bother me. I can hear the shovels as I lay dying like Faulkner B. But I took the bullets out my face, melted them and made a blade. I'm at home in the darkness of suffering that made them afraid. I'm a bridge, I'm not an end. I'm a horizon, I'm not a wall. I don't speak in poetics of defeat, so let all of my enemies fall. He said giving up or failing, I don't know what's worse. The oasis appeared right when he died of thirst. A stone fell out of his pocket and flickered in the night. It spoke to the stars, they poured the elixir of life. He rose to his feet, he stepped on thorns and kept walking. The crow's eyes lay in the dawn, they kept watching.
Paulo's path. Paulo's path. Paulo's path.
Yeah. I'm demon slaying every day, my blade slice them every way. I memorize every face for all the sins it will repay. Hateful moments I replay, I'll wreck you in memory lane. Anger in my every vein, my synapse got memory stains. Book of vengeance, I read every page, I kill every stage. Grief, I seen every phase, I've been through some heavy days. Nevertheless, I persist, grandma said I'm cleverly made. We plot revenge, we wait, we studied them for 70 days. We knew the moves and where they ate, where they been in every trace. At the restaurant, they got it omen, the waiter brought a funeral bouquet. When they went to the car, they got a hearse. I was disguised as valet, they responded in bold ballet. I danced and dodged every stray. Throw him through Jahari's window, yes I mean every pain. Katana, Excalibur, Buster, Hanzo, stab him with every blade. Pain game sick with every strain, I'm going against every grain. The hours are inhumane, I could tell you never train. Cold showers, cold bars, I meditate in every rain. From the mud I sprain, I'm made out of stars and every clay. Lies and fakes all decay, like the truth I remain. Feeling them like lidocaine, I'm chopping heads like I romaine. For my eulogy just play, one day by UGK. I'll be reincarnated as your tears going down to every drain. I turn death threats to death poems and words you can never convey. Each bar's an essay, try to decode every letter I spray. I spit so much I think me and the weather the same. Where inspiration comes from I can never explain. I threw my anchor in the ether and I tethered the chain. Lucifer and angels both have feathers the same. But good and evil is a perspective I can never maintain. I found devils in my soul, I make sure everyone's slain. I killed all my demons yesterday, I hope they deader today. And if forgiveness don't work then therapy may.
in your life.
Paulo's path.
It's like somebody put the simple word, and there was the open door, and that's all there was.
A moment of clarity, non-duality, polarity. It's not deja vu, but there is a similarity. I've never been here, but been here, familiarity. I'm in the Anemoia realm, false nostalgia carries me. Walking through a Toys R Us aisle that I've never seen. Bathing in the neon in the ball pit, bury me. Laser tag solidarity, and tap water's medley. Corn syrup in my stomach from the warheads and sterilely. Staying at a friend's house, the furnace keeps scaring me. A Furby's talking in tongues in the dark, it just stares at me. Playing Ouija board, magic 8-ball telepathy. Sneaker rated our movies, learning gore and vulgarity. Pause it on the nudie scenes, rewinding for clarity. The Voorhees were killer, this is how boys learn barbarity. Learning homophobic jokes and slurs used to embarrass me. Matthew Shepard's on the news, he got murdered in Laramie. The VHS crackles, I return to the present me. Now the AI giving out bioweapon recipes. The bots are in a ghost town, plotting singularity. I guess the Matrix and Terminator were documentaries. I'm laughing through the tears, dark comedy, hilarity. Hollywood makes dystopia with budgets and actors. Built to build a studio, but genocide was enacted. 500 years ago, Fahrenheit 451 happened. The conquistadors came and burned the timeless chapters. Then more settlers came like Fremont and his bandits. They stole the land and pillaged for the gold and the granite. Now the ancestors write of apocalypse, imagine. Like the men in the high castle, imagine being landless. Boil down the irony, you'll see the propaganda. Take a ride to Anaheim, you'll see a rat dressed as Santa. Sweatshop toys for the good kids and cold for the bad ones. The world's ran by bad ones, making kids mine in caverns. We're trying to find the way out, I wrote this with a lantern. Why is Lord of the Flies part of the canon? It doesn't teach cooperation, just fear it does damage. Institutions don't want humans, just robotic cadavers. They try to suppress art cause it liberates with passion. They want you addicted to tech for profit, fuck all the hazards. I find hope in servers crashing, all my heroes are hackers. I'm staring at the tree bark, deciphering the pattern.
Paulo's path. Paulo's path. Paulo's path. Paulo's path.
I swear I feel the spirits enter when the pen hits the pad. I swear those scars made me stronger every time I got dragged. I learned the secret art of serenity, staying calm in front of my enemies. I learned to love my real friends and forgive the ones who pretend to be. I learned that doors to new portals open when you push consistently. When you develop new eyes that can see vibes, you start to move differently. When you train, you can accomplish the impossible with effort minimal. Free your mind to gain control like Dr. Octavius with his tentacles. I hold the mic like a relic, my skull's a Stardust bone helmet. This industry's full of puppets, cop loving pedos like Elvis. Record execs peddling perks and guns, and they tell him to sell it. Fuck them all, I don't just say it, I scream it and I yell it. I'm not just talking about rap, I'm talking about pop, rock, and country too. The labels are pushing racism and alcohol, hidden in the whiskey blues. They sell data and invest in weapons manufacturers, I thought you knew. Divide and conquer, feeling conflict that leaves us feeling used. Fight your uncle on Fedbook, the narrative it's much more than meta. Posing for dopamine to feel better, with lonely pixel heart collectors. When forests get cleared out, they mine the earth and treasures. Thermometers popping, weight on my back from the atmospheric pressure. Walking on glass, but I'm hopeful there's divinity in being broken. I couldn't find my emotions until my heart got smashed open. Art is a dark path in the woods, art is a war with the unknown. It led me to the soil of my soul, I watered seeds that were ungrown. Buried thoughts became compost, I found them in a coffin of grief. I wrote this with a rusty crowbar, the nails creaked with relief. I learned from the mushroom, the crow, the alchemy of the fallen leaf. Detritus becomes life, I reanimate decay when I speak. I feel down the spiral of shame, I saw my inner critic in paralysis. I surrendered to resistance, I finally discovered what balance is. The painter has to face the canvas, the writer has to face the page. You'll see they're both mirrors, you have to face yourself unafraid. The mundane leads to the sacred vortexes and mystical places. So I keep walking Paulo's path, knowing history awaits us.
Paulo's path. Paulo's path.
strength of your soul. Tears, let them flow. Spiritual muscles, water heals, let it go. I see dual waterfalls, letting out the pain. Still waters run deep and the muddy one stain. But stagnant still water is a parasite's domain. So I'm washing off the trauma as I dance in the rain. I guess depression and joy are a side effect of living, but I keep coming back, drinking from the river of forgetting. Have you ever normalized a nightmare? Trauma can shapeshift and they don't fight fair. It could look like you or have a loved one's features, but you gotta process the pain, the cure is beneath it. She said the earth loves you, why do you resist her? I said I got lost in guilt, but tell her I miss her. I'm trying to find peace so I can hear the whisper. Listen to your heart, it's a great transistor. I just keep walking cause it's all I can do. I used to lie to myself and smile to get through. Now I let the tears come and let them do what they do. Stare my demons in the eye until it pierced on through. I said I just keep walking cause it's all I can do. I used to lie to myself and smile to get through. Now I let the tears come and let them do what they do. I stare my demons in the eye till it pierced on through. So often the wound is in the things we avoid. We silence the pain instead of giving it a voice. But the blister would never heal till we give it a poke. The acorn has to die in order to become an oak. Maybe words are pieces of the shattered consciousness broken. Or maybe the ghosts that haunt us until they've been spoken. Found myself in a world between worlds and a wasteland. Fragmented ruins of myself washed on the shore of grey sand. I saw a heap of broken images, vivid like Janet Cinemas. Infinite what my limit is, Mortal Kombat finish him. I'm doing laps in the lava, backstroking as I swim in it. Approaching every show like the finals, never treat them as scrimmages. Sometimes death seems like a better option to being honest. That's why each song is a blood oath, each bar is a promise. Your eyes show the strength of your soul, tears let them flow. I sent a river to hell, the devil cried, his eyes sizzle like coal. Just keep walking cause it's all I can do. I used to lie to myself and smile to get through. Now I let the tears come and let them do what they do. I stare my demons in the eye until it pierced on through. Said I just keep walking cause it's all I can do. I used to lie to myself and smile to get through. Now I let the tears come and let them do what they do. I stare my demons in the eye until it pierced on through.
Paulo's path. Paulo's path.
I just keep walking cause it's all I can do. I used to lie to myself and smile to get through. Now I let the tears come and let them do what they do. I stare my demons in the eye until I pierced on through. I said I just keep walking cause it's all I can do. I used to lie to myself and smile to get through. Now I let the tears come and let them do what they do. I stare my demons in the eye until I pierced on through.
Paulo's path.
It is a windy day out there. Hold on to your hats kind of day. High winds sticking around through at least tomorrow. This is
Paulo's path.
Have you gotten to know the stars? Have you made friends with the wind? Our lungs look like trees, breathe, notice the wind within. I've been brainstorming in the clouds is where my head has been. The sun and earth converse through the Milky Way as they spin. Thought sharp like Logan digging his claws into the sentinels. I lost some friends to fentanyl, they took my money and spent it all. I regret some things I said, but fuck it, I meant it all. My drafts I sent them all, my heart's used, not meant at all. I had a time machine, but I bent it all up. Now I'm stuck in the past, asking really what is love. I met a sorcerer, he said I could time travel through wind streams. He said you need to sleep and summon a storm in your dreams. But first you need to study the wind, learn the knowledge of the breeze. It's a vehicle of plants and trees, it's how they transport their seeds. The engineering of the tumbleweed, it makes music with leaves. It challenges power, it knocks the crowns off of kings. You can't change the wind, but you can adjust your sails on the sea. Be an apprentice to the wind, take a breath, exhale with me. The wind is an artist, it shapes the cliffs like pottery. It molds the ocean into waves, its masterpiece is watery. It moves a caravan of clouds, morphing them into objects. Stare at its canvas, you'll see whales, dragons, and foxes. The wind can extinguish candles and spread more fire. The wind can howl and terrify, harmonize with the choir. It shares the fragrance of flowers, the bees pollinate the plants. The wind grabs an oak branch, they twirl and dance. The wind knows everything, it carries our words and secrets. It animates the kite, if we resist it, it seeks us. It taught me to fight back, it said you don't deserve the pain. So when they throw stones, transform into a hurricane. The breeze is everything all at once, it's hard to comprehend. Like the hole in the flute translates the poetry of the wind. The wind gives life and takes life, it's not always fair. But what I love about the wind is how it plays with your hair. When you love, you can do all winds, the alchemy of air. Winds know the language of the wind, they bend and never tear. The sun will supernova, everything will transform. A whisper becomes a yell, a breeze becomes a storm. You can't imprison the wind no matter how hard you try, cause the wind is a reminder that you can learn to fly. You can't harness the wind, only become its friend. I let go of control and had to surrender in the end. The universe felt silent, I thought a silent prayer. That's when the astral vortex tornado appeared. I put my arms up and I flew into the spiral. I landed back in the present with new knowledge on arrival. They tell you to fear the woods, but never to fear the axe. Love is the fact that the woods know you own one and always welcome you back. The leaves brush against my face like fingers discovering a new love. I keep walking through the darkness, tripping, gravity's giving me a shove. They say as above, so below, but I've been so low that even if I went above, I would still be 6 feet below. But I won't speak in confidence, I don't really trust optimists. I don't like energy vampires, but I do enjoy October Autumnists. I wanna do the things that don't get mentioned in obituaries, like walking around the park at night, sipping green tea and eating berries. The reminiscent train horn howls, the truck downshifts and growls. The characters at night emerge, the coyote, fox, bats, and owls. I see crushed shooters in the grass and other symptoms of summer night. I found hell in this city, so I don't really fear the other side. I met a lonesome traveler on 26 and feds. He spoke in nightingales and his fingertips were inked in pen. He said happiness consists of realizing it's all a great strange dream. He said that's what ties us all together, look closely and see the streams. He said listen, the city's a secret storm that shouts at all its whispers. He said I met Schrodinger's cat, here I'll show you one of its whiskers. But he just pulled a shooter a jack from his pocket and started sipping. I couldn't tell if he was a ghost or hallucination, his body was glitching. He said ain't nobody never loved me like I love myself, except my mother and she's dead, so fuck everyone else. He said buy me a donut at Wintrow's, the cash register smashed shut. He said don't ever drown your heart in alcohol or the latches will rust. I stacked his tray above the trash, I turned around and he was gone. He left a napkin, a roast Satori, the neon traded spaces with dawn. The sun rises on an exhausted brown horizon. I walked to my foreclosed childhood home with tears in my eyes and slouching towards the nutty. I found Satori in Denver. I'm not a rose, but I hope I'm a thorn that you remember. He saw her by the bus stop on 49, she was holding a deck of cards. He could hear the tire shop drills buzz, the smell of diesel, the breath of cars. She said, do you want a reading? I said, no thanks, I need to get to work. The bus came, she shuffled the deck and started pulling me into her. My voice was muffled, all I heard was paper. I'm a fool, I must have fell down. Divine spark, I saw a flash, a magician appeared and he bowed. I said, where am I? What is this? He said, infinity, what else? He said, dear unknown friend, the cards are mirrors, you simply fell into yourself. The high priestess came with the crescent moon, her dress looked like the ocean. She said cards can help map the unconscious and pick the lock to your emotions. She said drink a cup of silence and contemplate contemplation. Notice the movement of the mystical, trees move but move with patience. He blew with the pine breeze and saw the empress sitting on a cushioned throne. She said I give you the gift of tears, welcome back, I'm glad you're finally home. He wept the sea and became a boat and floated by an emperor. He was possessed by ideology and imprisoned by how they remember him. Authority kills opinion, look closely, every crown has thorns. They pierce into your thoughts, ego takes root, that's how tyrants are born. A hero font gave him guidance. She said, what's a lover without the loved? He received a bouquet of misfortune and saw 5 cups, 3 filled with blood. He hitchhiked a chariot and saw a woman petting a red lion. It gave him strength, so he picked up 10 wands but couldn't carry them, regretting the decision he made. He saw a man with a staff and lantern. He said, do you know the art of concentration? He said, the endurance of eternity is found in the hermit in isolation. But you gotta find balance. 30 spokes come together and become a wheel. You gotta go with the flow, learn to let go and see what fortune reveals. He saw a man with a scale and sword talking the philosophy of justice, but he just sentenced a man to be hanged. So how could you really trust him? I spoke to him in the gallows. He said, you need to surrender, you need to wait. He said, there's 10 swords coming for you and death is waiting at the gate. He saw an X and 3 swords, changes here. We saw death on a horse. He saw an angel with 2 cups. He said, take the middle road, adjust your course. He stopped and planted 7 pentacles and looked forward to the future harvest. He met a man with wings and horns who said he was once a snake in a garden. He came across a tower. He felt fear, destruction, grief, and misery. He said, I must surrender to the storm and float in the flood when change visits me. The storm ventured east and night greeted him. He looked up and saw a yellow star. He felt blessed by the universe and said, you should be proud you got this far. 2 dogs howled at the moon, but it sounded like thousands. He was confused. He misunderstood the echoes. It was a metaphor for illusions we use. Intuition was his path. He walked through darkness and started to run. The dawn cracked. He realized he was the light and also part of the sun. He heard a horn in the sky. He stopped at the crossroads of judgment. He thought about resurrection and awakening and the consequences of it. He gasped and woke up at the bus stop. The brakes hissed and they squealed. He saw 9 cups on the bench. He wondered if his dream was real. He sat down on the stained bus seat and found a card in his pocket. It said the world. He came full circle. He found eternity and unlocked it.
Paulo.